wants to go outside?
Let's go. Grab your toys. Come on, little one.
Sorry about that. Live service games seem to be the sworn enemy of most gamers out there. Well, certainly the ones that don't have mom's credit card handy anyway. Despite that, Helldivers 2, a live service game, is getting widespread praise almost across the board. No matter how many times we got our teeth kicked in at Malevelon Creek. We will return to liberate you, Malevelon Creek. If you're seeing what I'm seeing online, you probably have come across a lot of people who are saying this game might just be live service done right. Even I've got a previous video up on this game, but that was mainly to dunk on Halo Infinite. That toxic ex of mine. Now that my honeymoon phase with Helldivers 2 is over, I'm going to show you what I think the live service does right, what it does wrong, like scary wrong, and what I think it might imply about the future. Not just of this game, but as gaming as a whole. This won't be a review of the entire game, just those pieces that the suits of the gaming industry seem to love so much. You know, the things that make money. But I'll go ahead and let you know that since my last video and I've played more of it, I still think it slaps. It is the perfect kind of mindless, casual gamer fun I was looking for.
Get 20 missions and you can buy the battle pass.
Nice. Well, it's casual until it isn't.
Oh, my leg! Get some! Get some! Testing sentry! I'm hit!
But is it the live service I was looking for? Well, let's get into it. We'll start with the very first thing that you're asked to do when interacting with this game.
Hey! You gonna pay for this?
With a price tag of $40, Helldivers 2 is obviously not a free-to-play game, but it's also not in that league of $70 games that act like they're free-to-play games. This puts it right in the middle of the spectrum between this game is free-to-play, you can't get mad about expensive cosmetics, and this game is $70, why does it have an in-game store at all? Now make no mistake, the $40 price tag is not about generosity.
It's just good business.
Arrowhead, or possibly Sony, at some point made the judgment call that the game would be most profitable if they lowered the price of admission and encouraged more players to buy it to offset that reduced cost. Now, I'm not privy to their inside discussions or their board meetings, but it wouldn't shock me if they were right, looking at these player numbers. And yeah, I mean, it worked on me. I'm pretty happy with what I got for $40. Happy gamer. Now, there's no campaign here, no PvP, but in my totally professional and not subjective at all opinion, that's fine. Memorable moments are created constantly, and not in a make-your-own-fun kind of way, but more of a how the heck did we just survive that kind of way. The first one didn't have scripted story segments or PvP either, and shoot, Arrowhead even said Helldivers 2 will never have PvP. No PvP? Could have fooled me with how many times I've been nuked from orbit by a teammate.
Say we take off, nuke
the Kingerd
from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
I say all this to make the point that I don't think this game is lacking without these features. Co-op PvP is just what this game wants to be. Jeez. If you need your games to let you fight other players or have a fleshed out story, Helldivers 2 just may not be for you, and that's okay. You democracy-hating commie No, but really, the quote on Arrowhead's website says, "A game for everyone is a game for no one." They ain't trying to appeal to everybody. So that covers why I think $40 is better than $70 for this game. Well, obviously, but is it better than the free-to-play model? Was Arrowhead just not willing to risk making the game free? Were they afraid people would try it, not like it, and bounce? Did they look at player drop-off in games like Halo Infinite or the Finals and go, or will that $40 price tag contribute to the initial live service being provided? Well, it is a little early in the game's life cycle to know for sure what the content rotation will be like. I mean, there's plenty of implication that more planets, factions, and weapons are going to be added over time, and honestly this game seems to have perfected making its live service sort of canon. Like, the new content will probably be because there's new planets and factions popping up that we're gonna instill some forced democracy onto.
Knock, knock.
Or like how Arrowhead had us win control of the exosuits from the automatons. Yeah, no random sandbox items popping up here. We took this. What are you gonna do about it, robot scum? This extra thought put into how they're going to deliver content has me excited about future stuff. Then again, Anthem 2.0 was a thing, so when it comes to live service games, I will believe new content when I see new content.
The only good
Live service game.
is a dead.
Live service game. Point being, I think the game in its current state is worth $40, and if we get even more content over time, happy gamer. But to really judge if the $40 price tag is a better choice than free-to-play, let's mosey on over to the other thing they charge you for that we all know and love: the microtransactions. Don't let the Diablo 4s and Unalive squads of the world fool you. The price of the game itself can and should impact the prices of microtransactions. Higher price for game, lower price of store items. I don't like free-to-play games asking an entire year's salary just for a cosmetic, but I understand it. It's still trash though. Anywho, Helldivers 2 strikes an interesting balance here. The devs said that all new content will be completely free, so that must mean they're gonna charge a kidney and a firstborn son on the microtransactions, right? Well, if you take a look at what you can buy in-game, in concept it's pretty similar to other live service games out there. You've got a premium battle pass, you've got some store items, but what's this? There's 2 battle passes, they never expire, and one of which already comes with the game? And I can earn the store currency just by playing the game to unlock the premium battle pass? Now we'll see if this is true of future battle passes, but as for this set, this is great. If a paid game is going to have battle passes, this is exactly how I want them to do it. You can earn the currency for it, and you still get free rewards along the way. A dream come true, right?
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Once my initial excitement about the generous battle passes wore off, I remembered something about progression in modern gaming that really kinda sucks. Rewards are hardly ever tied to specific accomplishments anymore, and that's the case in Helldivers 2 as well. Don't get me wrong, I think the fact that you can play through the battle passes and the ship upgrades is fantastic. I especially like that it's not all tied just to XP, like with upgrades requiring you to find the resources out in the field. But I would like to see some helmets or armor sets, you know, stuff like that that just says, oh my god. That guy actually finished a game solo on Helldive difficulty? Wait, that guy contributed over 10% to a planet's defense?
Oh no, he's hot!
Current progression is very generous, but as a personal point, I just think XP only earning is boring. It's just like, you know, anyone can do that.
Are you ready?
Let's get him.
That being said though, I would take this progression over paid only progression any day. Which brings us to the shop prices. I guess you could technically say that nothing is paywalled in this game, since you can earn the currency just by playing. The average person is probably not going to have the time to grind out for every single item in the store, and that's by design. As for how much these items cost if you were to just buy them, wow. $5 to $7-ish for the bigger stuff, less than $2 for the smaller stuff? Talk about a blast from the past. This is the kind of thing you see from games in 2013, not 2024.
What are you looking at?
Oh, my lucky stars! A Negro.
Like, these are microtransactions that are actually worthy of the name
Microtransactions.
no $60 horse skins around here. These prices are so low that they had somebody like me who rarely ever spends money on stuff like this anymore thinking, well,
alright, maybe just one.
I usually don't buy anything in a game store unless I feel like the newest batch of content deserves it. I already supported Arrowhead by buying their game for $40, but if later a big content update comes out that I like, you know, maybe I might just drop a little quarter in the bucket. Consider it a thank you for your service, citizen. Might. Helldivers 2 is the first time in a long time that I've looked at an in-game store and not immediately felt insulted. Unlike most live service games these days, this game does not disrespect its players with egregious prices tied to something as trivial as a cosmetic. But again, even though these cosmetics are very cheap, you can still find the currency out in the play area without spending a penny. Or, of course, pay up if you want to fast track your progress. But it is just cosmetics you can buy in the store, right? No gameplay altering stuff, right? Right? What is that? We now come to the part of the video that inspired the title, and I predict where most people will disagree with me. And that's okay, because when it comes to people arguing over what kinds of monetization in games are a big deal and what kinds are not...
That stench. I've smelled it before.
If you're looking at a store item and you check out its effects, you're gonna notice something. What you're looking at are character stats and upgrades tied to each item that gives the player some kind of buff or stat change while they're wearing it. Now, don't let me lose you here, but here's why a lot of people are saying this is not a big deal. 1. The currency to purchase these is earnable at no extra cost. 2. Other items that change stats are also earnable at no extra cost. 3. The stat changes themselves are not significant. 4. A lot of the stats you can buy are repeat stats from items that you can earn for free. And I'll admit I let these same thoughts keep my concern at bay for a little while, but then I stopped examining the individual trees that are these specific items and realized we're not too far from a pay-to-win forest. Arrowhead's CEO is pretty adamant that they made a point for the game not to be pay-to-win, and a lot of people online seem to agree that it is not. But if you'll allow me to make a counterpoint. Looking at this concept in its most basic form, paying for gameplay advantages is supposed to be a cardinal sin. Like, up until now, pretty much everyone agreed on that. What changed? Why are people overlooking this? Now, ruffle my feathers and call me Chicken Little, but if you think larger studios aren't paying attention to players' tolerance of this, you're nuts. And I'm kinda worried that in a few years' time, we're gonna look back on Helldivers 2 as like $4 Horse Armor 2.0. It may not be that bad in this instance, which I don't think it is, but everything in modern gaming monetization is a slippery slope, and I don't like where this slope slips. How long till the $20 helmet goes up for sale that gives you extra respawns, or the $30 armor that gives you a damage buff? COD has already been experimenting with this kind of thing in its store, but I can't believe I'm about to defend Call of Duty. But at least the advantages those purchases give you, like a UAV or a better armor vest, you can find in the play area if you don't enter with one. With the perks of Helldivers 2 purchases, you're not finding speed boosts and extra grenade slots out in the play area. If you didn't come with it, you don't have it.
Objection!
Ah, but Kingerd, you may say, this isn't a PvP game, therefore it isn't pay to win. You're just paying to progress faster, you're not beating anybody. Okay, I'm gonna make my stance on this as clear as possible, probably for use in future videos where this will come up again. When it comes to gameplay altering advantages, any time where you can replace gameplay with game pay, I believe that's pay to win. Whether you're fighting other players or NPCs, you can still complete the match and win, or fail the match and lose. If I can pay money, and as a direct effect of me paying that money, I now have an advantage that makes the game easier for me to win, no matter how small the advantage, I think the game is pay to win. And that's a hill I'll die on.
What, are you looking for a raise? Get out.
I thought this was true of Halo 5 loot boxes giving out better weapons in Warzone. I thought it was true of Marvel's Avengers letting you earn more powerful abilities faster, and I think it's true here.
Wait, won't
Purchases with special advantages,
break the exquisitely refined balance of
achievement-based progression and cooperative
multiplayer? Secure your noise hole, soldier! Grown-ups are talking.
Helldivers 2 letting you buy gameplay altering advantages is a problem. Now, the way they do it in this game may not be a full-on tornado, but I'm seeing some thunderclouds. And yes, I understand these advantages can be earned, but since when has sidestepping gameplay with paying money not been called pay to win? I don't think that just because Helldivers 2 has an easier grind rate suddenly means that this concept of pay to win is out the window. But to tell you the truth, what scares me the most is not really this game suffering from that necessarily. It's more so larger or greedier companies looking at this and going,
It looks like fun and I want to do it!
and they will probably push the envelope even further than this game does.
I have not come all this way for safety, Doctor.
Or maybe they'll just ignore it and keep striving to be the beacons of morality they've been so far. So if voting with our wallets is a thing here, I'm happy to cast my vote for the Helldivers 2 base game. I think it deserves it. But I've said time and time again that I'm still having fun is the gateway to ignoring how studios take advantage of us. And even though I really like this game, I've got to hold my ground here too. That's not me saying you can't have fun. I'm having a great time with the game.
Not really dying though, are they?
They will. Praise the sun.
Oh gosh.
But I'm also not going to ignore the potential of where this kind of stuff can go. So I gladly bought the game and I would definitely recommend it to others, but I cannot in good conscience support in-game cosmetics having gameplay altering stats attached to them. Instead of just complaining about it, here's a solution. Completely separate the stats from the cosmetics and have them work just like the passives do in the ship modules instead. Earnable only upgrades. And I know this segment sounds like a bunch of doom and gloom, but I really do love Helldivers 2 and I want to see more games like this, just without the purchasable advantages. This game's live service obviously respects its players and the company's CEO is saying all the right things online, but I think people giving money for these kinds of in-game advantages is gonna give the gaming industry the wrong message on what exactly players want out of live service monetization. If we do support buying gameplay advantages, pay to win will become more common in gaming, and that scares me.
It's afraid. It's afraid!
I may not respond to every comment, but I read as many of them as I can, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you see this as the start of a new problem in modern gaming? What do you think of Helldivers 2 just as a game? Do you like it? I think it puts Halo Infinite to shame, and here's a video explaining why I think that is. As always, thanks for watching. Kingerd out.